Today we're going to show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to sew a regular French seam. This is what a regular French seam looks like. There are a few variations. We've got regular, narrow, and a false French, but we'll start with a regular French seam first. The sewing process for a French seam is two parts. To begin, we must place the wrong sides of the fabric together. So have a look, the colored side is my right side. And right now I've got my wrong sides of my fabric facing each other. And I just want to pin my seam. So we're now going to be sewing at a 1/4 inch seam allowance as we discussed, and our wrong sides of our fabric are facing each other. Remember to back stitch to hold your seam together. After we've sewn our initial sew line at a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we now need to trim away half of the seam allowance that we see, which will bring you down to 1/8 inch. By trimming this away, it will ensure after your second sew line that no raw edges poke out on the right side of your garment. Before we sew our second sew line to finish off the French seam, we need to do some pressing. You'll notice that on the wrong side of the fabric, we've got this bubbling action going on. So we want to just press this nice and flat first. I like to use a seam roll as it lifts up the seam. Our next pressing step is to press right sides facing, making a book spine right along our seam. So just try to balance the top and the bottom of your seam and press as you go along. To complete our French seam, we're going to be placing right sides facing each other. You'll notice there's our seam, or raw edge from our initial sew line. So right sides facing, and I'm just going to be pinning our book spine. This will ensure that all the layers stay put. To finish, we want to place right sides facing and sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. If you remember, we sewed at a 1/4 inch seam allowance for a sew line. Now we're sewing at another 1/4 inch seam allowance. 1/4 plus 1/4 equals our total 1/2 inch seam allowance. So we'll back stitch to begin, and we'll continue sewing at a 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to stop here and back stitch, only because I can open this up and show you the difference. So this looks really nice now on this side. On the right side, you'll notice, look, there's our first sew line. And then up here, it looks nice and smooth. To finish, we would just press your seam allowance one way, open. Now for this tutorial, we have used a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You can use whatever seam allowance you wish. Just remember that your two sew lines, whatever your seam allowance is for the two of them, must add up to your final seam allowance. So if you have a 5/8 inch seam allowance, use perhaps 3/8, trim away, and then your second line 2/8 to add 5/8. There are a few variations of a French seam. The main idea is that all the raw edges are fully encased. No raw edges exposed in or outside of the garment itself. This type of seam works best with fabrics that fray easily. You can tell from the opening, you can easily pull at the raw edge. So that's why it's important to put in a French seam for any fabric that frays. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial.